I can prompt the AI chat, for example, building an internal tool for a small team to do project management, OKRs, meetings. Then every day, each team member can select maximum 5 activities that they work on that day directly from the dashboard. I'm gonna send this prompt, and the Softr AI co-builder starts building both the backend and the front end of the app. Here are some questions. I can also select authentication settings. You can see there is SSO, single sign-on, Google. For now, I'm just gonna do email. If I select SSO, Google, then I will be prompted to set those up in the user interface in Softr. Now here is the theme for the app. There are some predefined themes that I can select from here. Here is a Softr database that's being created with a users tab that contains the email address, name, avatar role. That's a standard table that's usually included when building an app, and this stores the data of all the users, and then each user will have their related objective, projects, tasks, activities, and all the other related tables that are going to be created by the AI. Everything is modifiable later, either with the help of AI or manually. It's also adding sample data into each table right now. And now the backend is completed, and it continues by creating the front end. That's the application pages that the users will interact with. And the AI co-builder currently only uses native Softr blocks, meaning whether it be a dynamic block, such as a list or a table view, or a static block with images and text. It doesn't use the Vibe coding block, which instead allows for further customizations of design and logic connected to the backend. That is something that you can add manually and then additionally consumes credits, AI credits, included in the Softr workspace. Once it's done, I can then try it live, which opens the app in a new tab, or I can skip and continue here on the familiar Softr editor. So I can see all the pages that were generated. Each page is composed of blocks that I can easily edit here. That's a left border block with some content. That's a dynamic block, a list that pulls data from the daily activities table in the database that I showed you earlier while the AI was building it, which is now accessible from the data tab. As you can see here, this app is using the teamwork management database composed of multiple tables, the users table with all the users, the objectives, projects, tasks, and so on. I can manually edit these tables by adding fields, adding views here, filtering, deleting data, adding data directly in here. Then I can see the users in the users tab, and I can create workflows. Workflows are automations in the workflows tab. The AI co-builder remains open here. On the left hand side, I can see the credit consumption and the activity history at the workspace level. You can click in here, and I can see the chat history, start a new chat, or close the co-builder. That's always accessible from this icon at the top left corner of the Softr editor. Theme allows me to set the theme of the app. Settings lets me edit integrations, for example. That might be useful for Google login and other third-party tool integrations. And there are additional customizations that can be made that are not in the scope of this video, so I'm not going to go through them. Essentially, this is a first working version of the app that you can quality check and then already ship for testing with your team or by yourself for a few days, and then continue tinkering with it to make sure that it fits your actual needs. So you can see how that's certainly an appealing value proposition for a business owner or a manager that is looking to build something fast and useful for internal purposes. Softr is especially geared towards internal tools for businesses, but you can also build other types of apps in here. It can be client portals, or it can be apps with user subscriptions. So you can see the time from idea to execution is very short, and you can already start with a prototype to test out the value of the app and iterate on it very easily with the AI co-builder or manually. When the time from idea to building the app shortens so much, the behavioral aspect of adapting a new tool, testing it out, and consistently using it with value remains one of the core challenges, especially when you work with teams. So that is the core unlock and the main challenge that then behaviorally you must solve within yourself and with the people in your team to actually extract value from the tool and continuously use it over time, which is one of the main reasons why so many software projects fail, because of lack of usage. And this is no difference. Because it's built by AI, it doesn't mean that people in your team will use it or that you will use it consistently over time. There is also the possibility that your AI agents or team of agents for multiple purposes might interact with the app and extract value from it over time, because AI agents do not have the same behavioral complexity and psychological complexities as humans. So that's it for some reflections for this video. If you have any comments or questions, leave a comment below in the video. You will find relevant links in the description. And if you want to inquire, to work together, to build your custom apps, workflows, and make sure they stick with you and your team to achieve what you actually want in the long term, then please feel free to reach out via the dedicated link in the video description. See you in the next one.